Dear student, today I will discuss about a new chapter, that is your classification of elements. Classification of elements and periodicity in properties. At first, I will discuss about the classification of element. Classification of elements. Before going to discuss about these topics, I will explain about the need of classification of elements. There are 118 elements are known till now. If you study individual elements, then it is very difficult to think about all the terms related to the elements, just like source of the element, preparation of the element, properties of the elements, that is your chemical property and also physical property. Next is your uses of the element. Next is your compounds related to the elements, and also you think about the preparation of the compounds of the element, characteristics property of the compound of the element, characteristics property of the compounds of the element, like this. It is very difficult to study these points about the all elements, so we need a certain classification to study the all points regarding about the elements. So the scientists thought that there is a need of classification elements. Then what is the meaning of the classification of the elements? It is in one type of method of arranging. The method of arranging the similar elements together and separating them from dissimilar element is called classification of element. Is called classification of the elements. That means the elements having similar property are placed in a particular position, and the elements which having dissimilar from that elements are kept in another place. Many scientists predicted many classification regarding about the elements, but we will discuss about some important classification regarding about the elements. What are the significance of the classification of the elements? Why you need the classification of the elements? Significance of the classification of the element. It arranges the element It arranges the elements in a information array. In a information array. Before this, it is unable to arrange the elements in a particular sequence. But when the scientist predicted some classification of the elements, then the elements are arranged in a particular information array. Second is it rationalizes the chemical facts about the elements. That means it gives the justification for an element, why this element is placed in that position, why other element placed in this position. It gives a justification about the placement of the elements in the periodic tables. It explains about the structure of atoms. Basically, we think about the electrons. Basically, arrangement of electrons. We know that the modern periodic table. In modern periodic table, the elements are arranged in the increasing order of their atomic numbers. And again, we know that the atomic number depends upon the number of protons or number of electrons for an atoms. That means it indirectly explains about the electrons present in the atoms in the modern periodic table. So we can think about that. It explains about the structure of atom. Basically, we think about the arrangement of electrons. It predicts about the order of chemical reactivity and other properties of the elements arranged in vertical column and horizontal rows. Think about the modern periodic table. We can think about the reactivity of alkali metals. The reactivity of alkali metal goes on increases from top to bottom in the modern periodic table. We can think about the atomic radii, about the elements in the periodic table. The atomic radii goes on increases from top to bottom, and the atomic radii goes and decreases from left to right. These points are clearly given by the periodic tables. Now I will discuss about the history of development of periodic table. Many scientists gave many periodic tables. Generally, we think some important periodic table. At first, I will discuss about the Dubanier triads. Next is your D. Chan Curtius' classification of elements. Next is your Newland Octavius octavus. The fourth is your said to be Lotharmaeus arrangement, and the fifth is your Mendeleev's periodic table. Next sixth is your modern periodic table. Among the all periodic table, modern periodic table play an important role. At first, I will discuss about the Dubonnier traits. Look at that. This is your said to be Dubonnier traits. It is proposed by the scientist John Dubonnier in 1829. Here there are three traits which are written as here group A, B, C. In first trait, that is your group A, there are three elements are present. One is your lithium, another is your sodium, next is your potassium. Lithium having atomic mass that is your 7, sodium having atomic mass 23, and potassium having atomic mass 39. According to this trait, if you will find out the arithmetic mean of the atomic mass of first and third element, that is equal to the second element. Now look at that. Here the atomic mass of lithium is your 7 and the atomic mass of potassium is your 39. If I will find out the arithmetic mean of atomic mass of lithium and potassium, then it is equal to 7 plus 39 divided by 2, that is your 23. It is the arithmetic mean of atomic mass of lithium and potassium. Lithium belongs to the first element, potassium belongs to the third element of this trait. The arithmetic mean of atomic mass of lithium and potassium is equal to 23, which is equal to the atomic mass of sodium. Like that, if you think about the second trait, that is written as here group B. In second trait, there are three elements are present. One is your calcium, another is your strontium, next is your barium. The atomic mass of calcium is equal to 40 and the atomic mass of barium is your 137. Atomic mass of strontium is your 87.5. Now I will find out the arithmetic mean of atomic mass of first element calcium and the third element barium. Arithmetic mean of atomic mass of calcium and barium is 88.5, which is nearly equal to the atomic mass of strontium, that is your 87.5. Strontium belongs to the second elements of the trait. Similarly, you can explain the elements present in the third trait, that is the elements are chlorine, bromine, iodine. From the above example, it is clear that the atomic mass of the middle element of each trait is very closely to the arithmetic mean of the other two elements. Remember about another important point. The elements present in a trait having similar properties. Similar properties means chemical property and physical property. This is all about your Dubonnier traits. Next, I will discuss about the De-Chant-Curtius classification of element. Look at that. This is your De-Chant-Curtius classification of element. In this classification, the known elements were arranged in the increasing order of their atomic masses in the form of a cylindrical table of elements to display the periodic reoccurrence of the properties of the elements. That means the elements are arranged just like the wires of the spring and it look like a cylindrical form. Here, at first hydrogen, then helium, next lithium, next beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, neon, just like the elements are arranged according to their increasing order of their atomic masses. From this cylindrical classification of elements, we can conclude many properties of the elements, and we can also compare the properties of one element with the other element. Just like, look at that, here the properties of helium is similar with the neon, next then argon, just like other elements. You can also think about the another element. The properties of lithium is similar with the hydrogen, similar with the sodium, like this. You can also think about another, that is the properties of beryllium similar with the magnesium, like this. You can also compare the properties of oxygen with the sulfur. Next we can also compare the properties of nitrogen with the phosphorus. Next we can also compare the properties of carbon with the silicon. You can also explain the other elements and its property, and the property of one element you can also compare with the other elements. This is all about the De Chern-Porteous classification of the elements. Now I will discuss about the Newland's law of octaves. This is your said to be Newland law of octaves. Here suppose I will take hydrogen as Sa, and lithium as Re, and beryllium as Ga, and boron as Ma, and carbon as Pa, and nitrogen as Dha, and oxygen as Ni. Then I must take fluorine as Sa of upper scale note. We know that Sa of one scale must have similar characteristics with the Sa of another scale. Similarly, here hydrogen have similar property with the fluorine atom. In Newland octaves, hydrogen is taken as Sa and fluorine is taken as another Sa of another scale. Similarly, we can think about the lithium. If I will take lithium as Re, then sodium as also Re of another scale. That means the characteristics property of lithium must be similar with the characteristics property of sodium. Like that, you also think about the similarity in properties of beryllium and magnesium, and also think about similarity in boron and aluminum. Like that, you can also think about the similarity between carbon and silicon, and also you can think about the similarity between nitrogen and phosphorus. Like that, you also think about the similarity between oxygen and sulfur. Like that, you can also find the elements which are having similar in their properties. This is all about the Newland law of octaves. Next, I will discuss about the Lothar-Meyer's arrangement. This is your Lothar-Meyer arrangement. This is one type of a graph which is drawn between atomic volume and atomic mass. By knowing the atomic mass of an element, we can calculate the atomic volume of that element by the help of this graph. In this graph, the elements are arranged in the increasing order of their atomic masses. Similarity in physical and chemical property appears at a regular interval. This is all about your Lothar-Meyer arrangement.